This is the Zoom Fly 6, Nike's latest hybrid training and racing shoe. Over the past month, I've clocked up over 100 training miles in this shoe getting ready for my next marathon. It's a shoe I've been picking all the time for my speed sessions, my longer runs recently as well as clocking up a few easy miles. I've really been putting it through its paces, quite literally. Right, let's start out chatting about everything at Zoom Fly 6 with the differences between this and the outgoing model. With the previous shoe, it had that horrible Zoom Fly sort of recycled foam. Now we've got a proper full slab here of Nike's Zoom X premium foam on the top, and then just beneath, ironically where it says Zoom X, we've now got an EVA foam underneath that to add some really hard wearing. So a good bit of speed and pop and responsiveness, and then that hard wearing foam for that durability underneath it. We've got a completely redesigned upper as well here. It's now 10% lighter than Zoom Fly 5, which was a really heavy shoe. We've got a slightly higher stack height with this shoe as well, so a lot more foam underneath the foot, definitely a lot bouncier and more responsive. And unfortunately it is £10 more expensive, but still a pretty good deal. Right, let's have a chat about all of the facts and figures. But just before we start out, I just want to say I bought this shoe 100% with my own money, as we do with everything here on the channel, to give that 100% honest, completely unbiased review. Check out my website, benparks.com. We've got all sorts of running hats, technical tees, long sleeve tees, and the best 5-star rated training plans anywhere in the world. Feel free to use code YouTube10 for anything that you want to check out there on the website. Thank you so much, guys. So the purpose of the Zoom Fly 6, I think I categorized this as saying this is an everyday race shoe. A shoe that is designed to get your key training workouts done in, your tempo runs, and a shoe that you can also rock up to a race without spending the big money of the Vaporfly or the Alphafly, something like that. It's going to get everything done pretty well and pretty damn quickly as well. Price-wise, this set me back £155 here in the UK. Stack height 42mm stack at the back of the shoe, just over that legal limit. 8mm drop overall, and for me this shoe came in at 322 grams, a 37 gram decrease from the outgoing model. Very welcome. Stability wise, this is a neutral shoe. Now talking about the upper of the shoe here, we've got this 2-layer woven mesh upper. The tongue is stitched in to the upper here, but it holds it really quite nicely in place. It's partly gusseted, not a full gusseted tongue there. Midsole, as we just touched on with this really good update, we've got a full length layer of Zoom X midsole. This is Nike's top of the line foam, their most premium PEBA foam, putting in this shoe here. And then just underneath that, we've got the layer of EVA foam, which Nike call the SRO2, which is a lot firmer, but then it's offering a good amount of stability there, support and good durability. And then on the bottom of the shoe, we've got Nike's waffle grip outsole up at the top here. It's quite hard to see it at the bottom, but we've got two sections of it at the bottom here, really good for the heel strikers in there. So pretty good covering overall, and so far wearing surprisingly well. There is a carbon fiber plate in this shoe that is sandwiched between those two layers of foam in there, and there are no different widths of the shoe available at the moment, but there's a surprisingly good amount of width up at the front of the shoe. It's actually sort of bunching up a little bit for me because my feet are on the narrow side, so loads of space at the front, so don't worry if you have a slightly wider foot, you're going to be absolutely fine in the shoe. It was true to size for me, and there are different men's and women's version available. Right, let's get stuck into all of my likes. The first like with the Zoom Fly 6 is the sheer amount of comfort that this shoe offers when running. It's not a great shoe to walk around in, we'll come on to that in a minute. The heel counter lockdown is really good amount of padding around here. I had absolutely no heel slip issues, any sort of blisters or hot spots in the shoe, non-existent. My foot has felt really secure at all different paces as well. There's no need for any heel lock lacing or anything like that. And as I just touched on there as well, good amount of width at the front of the shoe. It's been really comfortable for longer runs. I've taken this shoe up to 30k. I think it was actually 32k with the warm up and cool down as well. I could certainly run a marathon in this shoe, absolutely no problems. It's just got that all day comfort feel about it. It felt just as good at the start of the run, midway through the run, and at the end of the run. Lots of life and poppiness. My second like with this shoe is it's a surprisingly quick shoe. I've really been staggered by the paces that I've been actually managing to get out of the shoe versus the sort of effort that I'm putting into it. The weight decrease, yes, it's significant here and very much welcomed over the outgoing model. It's a shoe that now feels around the right sort of weight of what a shoe like this should be. The rocker at the front gives that really nice feeling through the foot strike and leads to a super silky smooth turnover as well. Really fantastic to run in. I actually found myself always looking forward to the next rep. I just couldn't wait to get back up to pace at the end of each one. This midsole mashup, as I'm calling it, is just so bouncy. You can really feel like the shoe is propelling you forward along where you're running, and you can just cruise along at marathon pace. When I've been doing my marathon pace reps in this shoe, it's just so cruisy, so bouncy, so much fun, so much energy coming back through that plate and this foam, and you can just turn it, you can just switch off in your head and just cruise along at that pace. The carbon plate in the shoe is not super stiff. I can bend it quite easily there. Certainly not something like the Alpha Fly or the Vaporfly. Those type of shoes are in a whole different category really of those super shoes. They're a lot firmer and not as bouncy as this. The Zoom Fly is so much softer and bouncier. No doubt with the Alpha Fly and the Vaporfly, they are faster shoes. You can, if you've really got the strength to get the most out of that carbon plate and those foams, you can go a lot faster in that shoe. But this is pretty good for the vast majority of people. This could be the only sort of super shoe that you're going to need. The plate also gives a lot of stability in the shoe. You really can't feel it that much as you're running along because, as I say, it is a little bit on the more flexible side as plates go. I've just been really surprised by the amount of effort I've put in when I've been running my sessions in the shoe. It's really quite surprising of just how fast this is. And my third like with the shoe is just the sheer value I think this is offering, not only in price, but it's holding up really well after those first 100 miles. I can see a little bit of wear on the top of the shoe just here, where I normally land and then sort of roll in, but really it's showing absolutely nothing after 100 miles. This shoe is going to be an absolute mileage monster that you can get so much of your training runs done in. Carbon plates in shoes at this price point are pretty hard to find. It's kind of an odd one that how Nike have priced this, but I think it's a really competitive price point. £10 cheaper than the Nike Pegasus Plus, and that doesn't have a plate in it at all. So yeah, durability, fantastic so far, and just the amount of money you've got to spend to get a shoe that's this fast and comfortable, I think it's a pretty damn good deal. But as we always say on the channel, it's not all about the likes. We bring you those dislikes as well. The first one being with this waffle grip outsole. The grip's been absolutely amazing as well. If I didn't touch on that in the likes, grip has been really good with this one, but it's just a little bit on the noisy side. It's just something to note here. You might just find it a little bit noisy at speed. The second one, the rear stability with the shoe, if you are a bit of a heel striker, again, it's not fantastic. The foam is definitely on that softer side, but again, I'm really kind of nitpicking to try and find a few dislikes with this shoe. Third, for me, I think this is a pretty ugly shoe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Again, I know it doesn't matter. People just want a good, damn fast shoe on their feet, but I think it's really not the best looking shoe in the world. From a company that normally provides some really fantastic looking shoes, yeah, it's just one of those ones where I take some photos and put it on my Strava. I think that really doesn't look very good. And the fourth point, and then again, this is not really a dislike, it's just an observation, but these definitely are running shoes first and foremost. Walking around in them is just really quite clunky. It's not the kind of shoe you're going to be wanting to wear to the gym, wearing to the shopping mall, wearing out. It just doesn't feel very natural to walk in at all. So if you're looking for something like that, then check out the Vomero, which is much more of a conventional type shoe, or something like the Pegasus Plus. But yeah, they're completely different categories of shoes, but far more comfortable if you want something that you can definitely wear to the gym and do your runs in. A lot more of an all-round type of shoe. For this one, just definitely running only. Right, let's have a chat about all of my conclusions and my final thoughts. Do I recommend the shoe? A million times yes. I've been really so happily surprised in this shoe. It's been a real return to form for Nike. They've really not produced a good shoe outside of their super shoes for a very long time. Super shoes are obviously been fantastic, but in this sort of price category, this type of shoe, they've had so many misses recently, but this is a real return to form. So is it worth an upgrade? A million times yes. Definitely don't go out and buy version 5. If you're a heavier runner, you really like the feel of the version 5, heavy runners are going to be absolutely fine in this shoe as well. This foam, I really can't see it bottoming out. I'm not a heavier runner or a light runner, just somewhere in the middle, I suppose. But yeah, I feel like I'm miles away from being able to bottom out this foam. There's so much foam, especially if you're a heel striker, midfoot striker, you're not going to be bottoming out this shoe. And I really think it's going to be comfortable all day long, definitely for everyone across the board. And whether you're a light light, medium, heavy person like that, I really feel you're going to be able to extract a lot of energy out of the shoe as you run. So who should buy this shoe? Anyone looking for that do-it-all type of shoe with a carbon plate that will last a long time, something that you're going to want to race in potentially as well, all without breaking the bank. I think you are probably going to want to pair it with a more regular, everyday type of shoe, something like a Vomero or an Invincible, just for those very easy and recovery run type things. And then this, yes, you can definitely race in it and do all of your speed work, your tempos and things like that. That would be a really good combination. And I really think it's going to be a perfect shoe for someone that doesn't want to spend £280 on a pair of Alpha Flies or £240, whatever it's up to for a pair of Vaporflies. They just want a shoe that's going to be super comfortable. They can run a marathon in 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever they want to go, and have a shoe on their foot they're not breaking the bank with, and it'll be really comfortable, and they know they're going to get a lot of speed out of this shoe as well. Just want something that's fun, engaging, and super durable, so they can run a lot of miles in it without worrying about wearing out the foams and wearing out the underneath. I've seen a few people describing this as your Alpha Fly trainer, and I think that's really good, perfect thing. You can save the Alpha Fly for race day. Don't worry about putting too many miles on your premium shoe. You can go and do all of your training runs in this shoe, wear this out, and it's going to take a long time, which is exactly really what I've been doing. It'd be Alpha Fly for race day and clock up all of my training miles in this. The feeling is reasonably similar. No doubt the Alpha Fly, as I say, it's a lot stiffer, it's a lot firmer. It really is that one to get out and really extract the most out of it with some strong legs on race day. But you could still happily race in the shoe absolutely fine. So will I be keeping it? Definitely. I've really enjoyed running this shoe. How does it compare to my first review? How's my mind changed after 100 miles? I think I've fallen in love with it even more than I did back then. It was quite a positive review to start with. So a couple of other shoes you might want to check out, something like the Vomero. We'll link to that one up here. Apparently the new one's coming out early-ish next year, so I'm really looking forward to testing that one out. Or maybe the Pegasus Plus. We'll link to that one down there. So that's it, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the Zoom Fly 6. Have you got it? Are you running in it? Are you testing it? Do you want to check it out? Any questions? Hit me up down in the comments. I'll catch you down there. That's that, guys. Keep on working hard and keep on getting it done. I'll see you very soon in the next one.